Well, I guess do another video today, as I am on PTO this week from work. Today is my 36th birthday. Not getting any younger here. So, I already determined this long ago that birthday lunch I'd be going down into Gilbert. And so right now I'm on Higley Road heading south. Just up ahead is the Superstition Freeway. And it's not that far south down, but yeah, sometimes it feels that way. Right where I started recording was just past my old junior high school, which is no longer a public school, it's a Franklin school. And, great, right lane closed ahead. Seems like there's construction on every street you go down these days. It's kind of annoying because it seems like no matter which way you go, you, can't win. There's always something happening on every single street, and especially lately, I think they've just been trying to maintain the aging infrastructure since, you know, some of these roads are built to the bare minimum to keep up with expansion, especially with how much Mesa grew over the years, especially in the 90s. Gilbert and Chandler also growing a lot, and they're still growing now that, you know, they're building houses again. Here on the right is Banner Gateway Hospital, which replaced the hospital that I was born at. A friend of mine actually worked on the water features of this hospital back when it was under construction in 2007, I think. I think it opened by 2008. And of course, they're starting to build more here, like this new gas station, a new Burger King. That Marriott back there is brand new. You know, Dairy Queen. So, I guess at least if you have to visit a relative there, it's not all bad. The Fry's near my house was relocated to this intersection. I guess the rents went up over there, where they're at currently. But here's Baseline Road. It seems like when I was a kid, once you reach Baseline, you know, you're always crossing into Gilbert for the eastern half of Mesa. And this was a point where basically most roads besides Gilbert Road would narrow down to two-lane, you know, two-way traffic roads. You know, I mean, 20 years ago, this was all empty out here. There was nothing here, just, you know, citrus groves or whatever, ranch land. Then in the 90s, you know, the area began to grow and they were building houses left and right. You know, like all the houses we're about to drive past now are all from the 90s. And even these apartments or whatever that's here on the left, these were actually very recently built within the last couple of years. But I mean, there was probably a point where that traffic signal back there at Baseline wasn't there, it was a four-way stop. And even some of these other intersections up ahead, like at Guadalupe Road, you know, they would have been four-way stops. Just two-lane country roads. course, my late father, he went to Mesa High the year the current campus opened in 1972, and there's an aerial shot of the high school there, and Southern Ave. This is by Southern and Gilbert, which is a very busy intersection in Mesa, and that whole area was built up in the 70s for the most part, maybe even into the early 80s, but a lot of it was in the 70s. All the neighborhood streets and sidewalks were laid, but there were no houses built there yet. You can see Southern Avenue right there at Harris narrows to a 2-lane road, and you follow the road to Gilbert Road, and the intersection is a 4-way stop. It's all fields. Nothing is there. None of the plazas, none of the houses. It's just nothing there. Now, this area of Gilbert is nice, how they've got the fence. I have a friend whose family still lives just to the east at Rucker Road. This whole look with the picket fence, it's over a pretty big area. Different builders building their different tiers of houses. Like these houses here are big, but the houses on the left side of the road are a little more modest in size. But a friend of mine and other people that I've known live over towards Rucker Road, and they have like pecan trees as part of the landscaping, and I think it's a really nice area. I like how they try to do something different with the facades, because the 90s was when we saw a lot more stucco, which is very common in the Southwest because it's simply a cheaper facade, and it won't weather quickly. I mean, we just don't get the kind of weather here that would really weather or get damaged heavily. I mean, it can still get damaged or whatever with the right kind of monsoon storm. But I mean, I've never known anybody who's had to really reapply stucco to their house, except for except for like a rare situation. It's not like how back east people have to replace their siding because it's falling off or flying off because of just too many storms. So here's an area that's brand new, under construction. They barely widen the street to have multiple lanes. And over here on the left, it's still empty and barren. But they barely, widen the street to what you see now. Because prior to this was just a 2-lane road, just a couple of years ago. And this intersection here did have a traffic light. They were, it wasn't wide, so you only had 1 lane in each direction approaching on Higley, which is kind of irritating. They didn't have like these nice lamp posts or anything, and really the traffic signal back there was the kind that dangles from a power line. And then your 1 lane of traffic suddenly widens out to 3 lanes right here where the 202 is located, which is the next freeway we're about to cross over. I actually use this part of this freeway to get to work just to kind of shave some time off. As opposed to just taking the service streets where you may end up with, all red lights, which is annoying. You follow this freeway one way, you end up at I-10 by the casino. You follow it the other way, and you loop all the way around to the northern part of Mesa through Tempe, finally meeting up with I-10 at the Mini Stack interchange by downtown. And they're building something here. I don't know what that is. But this is the outside of a development, a master plan community called Agritopia. It's an expensive neighborhood to live in. But where I'm eating my lunch today is actually here at Agritopia. Oh, that gas station's new over there. Valero. Yeah, that Agritopia is a busy place to live in. A friend of mine did look out houses here once, and he said it was just too expensive. But here it is. Joe's Farm Grill. Because it's my birthday today, I get $10 off, so take advantage of that. I'll probably get the farm burger, and I'll upgrade my fries to baked potato fries. But this is it. This restaurant used to be the home of Joe Johnston, the owner of the restaurant. This was once his family's farmland, and it was built in the 60s, I believe. So with the expansion or the growth of the 90s, what they did was they decided to eventually sell the house, sell off the farmland and leave their home. And what Joe did was he converted the house into a restaurant. And the farmland was what became Agritopia. So you go inside the restaurant, and parts of the house remain, like the fireplace from the living room, that remains. The bedroom side of the house is what they turned into the facilities, and it's all mid-century. It's right there. So I'm gonna go eat.